I have a perspective that I hope in the end will not be terribly unique. Let me first say that The Black Panther was an amazing film, but I want to kind of go into why and where that comes from. I spoke when I was speaking about Sam Wilson about that was a character born out of tokenism. And on the page, I never really connected. The exact same I would say about the Black Panther. It was a character created out of tokenism. I, as a child, thought the name was terrible. I found that the original comic book depictions of Wakanda were terrible. There wasn't anything I liked about that character, and I didn't actually start liking that character until the Ultimate Avengers, both in comic book and most importantly in the animated show. Ultimate Avengers 2, that animated movie, was the first time I, as a comic book fan and as a fan of movies, superhero movies in particular, liked the character of T'Challa. At that point, this is a character who had been around for years. He had been an Avenger. He had led the Avengers. He had married Aurora of the X-Men. There are so many stories that have been told about this character that are so collectively important in comic books that this was a character I was always supposed to like, and I never did. I should add, and obviously, Josh, you know, many listening to me also know, a large portion of my family is from Zambia. The amount of my family members who had so many positive things to say about this movie and about Chadwick Boseman's portrayal of this movie was amazing. I have friends who are Black, who their kids love this character. They finally feel represented. And I've known this character since I was 4 and never felt that way. The fact that I've got when I was 7, I could never feel that way about this character. And the fact that now today, a good friend of mine, her son who's 7, can wear a Black Panther costume. He can say Wakanda forever, and it means something to him. And I can celebrate that with them. That means a lot to me. What the MCU did for this character is something I've never seen in film before. I've never seen a character that was so token become so thematic and perspective in my life. I've just not seen that before. I don't know if it has happened before. Wow. I don't know if it will happen again. They did it with this. As far as whether the choice was brave to not recast him, I think it was an easier choice than you might think, because I don't think you'd have easily found somebody who would wanted to have tried. I think what was brave was keeping it on the slate for this phase. Me personally, I would have thought, let it rest a phase. Let's stick it out to 2025. Let's stick it out phase 5. Then we'll bring it back with the carry on, and then you'll find ways to weave in the story. Like you can have Shiri do appearances, or perhaps maybe a 4-episode miniseries, or have somebody do something to help Shiri gain power in some other show. Like Shiri and Wakanda could help in the Secret Invasion in some fashion. So they stay in our consciousness, but they're not in a position where they have to carry that load that Mr. Boseman carried so artfully. I mean, he really did. I felt the presence of royalty. I felt the weight of responsibility in his voice, in his posture, in his mannerisms, in his methodology. And I think it's going to be very hard for this film to live up to that. And that's no shame. That's no shade. I don't discount anything that anybody who's involved in this project is doing, has done, or will do. Yeah. I think it's just going to be hard for people to look at this film with fresh eyes saying, was the story good? Was the acting good? And did it all come together well? I think that's going to be hard. I think we're just going to be reminded that, man, I wish Mr. Boseman was still with us.